Hey, what's up, everybody? Just wanted to make a new video with the news on RGBA fighters. Yesterday on social media, there was a lot of rumors that Mikey's next fight will be against Danny Garcia. It hasn't been announced officially. Uh, the rumors say that it's going to be August, potentially August 31st in LA at the Staples Center, and then potentially on pay-per-view as well. So Mikey Garcia, 39-1, 30 knockouts. Next move to stay at 147 and not move down to 140 or 135 where he has a belt. So if you want to follow Mikey and all the updates on him, he's at Team Mikey Garcia on Instagram, at Team Mikey Garcia on Twitter. Abner Mares, 31-3-1, is recovering from a detached retina that he had in sparring in preparation for a fight in February. He recently had a conversation with Robert over the phone and asked Robert if the 10 o'clock spot at RGBA was still his. Robert replied, of course, the 10 o'clock spot is here for you. And then it sounds like, as busy as Robert is with all his world champions and all his prospects and his contenders, he's in a position to give Abner the best advice and tell him that his health comes first before getting back in the ring. So it seems like a lot of trainers, if they don't have that big a stable or their revenue is only coming from one source, that they might want to put their fighter who's hurt or recovering from an injury back into the gym earlier than should. So props to them and their relationship. Abner Mares, 31-3-1. If you want to follow him, he's at Abner Mares Official on Instagram. Josesito Lopez, 36-8. There's no updates on him. You can follow him at Jose Lopez on Instagram. Jose Carlos Ramirez, 24-0, 16 knockouts. He is promoted by Rick Meridian and Top Rank. Possible opponents for him are Regis Prograis and Maurice Hooker. And then he's always posting, well, at least either he or Charles, his trainer, Charles Trimley, are posting him working out and staying ready for his fights. So Jose Carlos Ramirez, 24-0, the current WBC 140 champion. If you want to follow him, he's at JC Ramirez 2012. Brandon Bam Bam Rios, 35-5-1, has been putting some stuff out there on social media. He's been doing mitt work with Jody Cuate, his trainer, there in Oxnard. So unofficially, he retired after his fight with La Zorrita Soto. But there might be, he might have one more in him, is what it seems like. So if you want to follow him, he's at Brandon Rios 1. Esquiva Falcao, 23-0, 15 knockouts. His last fight was March 31st in Brazil, where he won. I believe it was a decision. And then on Twitter this week, he recently called out, I don't know how to pronounce this, Ryota Murata, I don't know, on Twitter. So he is definitely calling out some people to get his next opponent in the ring. Ryota Murata might be promoted by the same promoter as Esquiva Falcao, which is Top Rank. So maybe that's the reason for that. If you want to follow him, he's at Esquiva Falcao on Instagram. Erick DeLeon, 19-0 with one draw. That one draw came against Andy Vences in 2018. 10 knockouts. He says he's been fighting at 130 pounds for 10 years now. So that's that shows you his level of discipline. His last fight was in March, where he got knocked down, I believe, in the 5th, and then was able to stop his opponent in the 7th. So Erick DeLeon, promoted by Top Rank, from Detroit, Michigan. If you want to follow him, he's at Team DeLeon 1. The newest addition to Team RGBA, Carlos Caballo Bronco Adames, 17-0, 14 knockouts. He won on the Crawford Khan undercard. He got a knockout in the 4th round. So he's the current NABF and NABO champion for the 154-pound division. If you want to follow him on Instagram, he's at Caballo Bronco. Shout out to Chef Frank Silva for keeping him in shape for the weigh-ins. Hector Tanajara, 17-0, 5 knockouts from San Antonio. He won the WBC Youth title at 135. There you see him in a picture with his dad, Hector Tanajara Jr. He's a Golden Boy promoted fighter. He signed with Golden Boy back in 2015. So most of his fights have come out of the Fantasy Springs Casino and Resort in Indio, California, or at the Belasco. So if you want to follow him, he's at Hector_Tanajara. There's no news on another fight date for him. Jonathan Thunder Navarro, 16-0, 8 knockouts from East LA, also promoted with Golden Boy. No updates on him. He just recently got married. So if you want to follow updates on him, he's at Jonathan Navarro_16. There you see him in a picture with stablemate and also promoted by Golden Boy Promotions, Joshua Franco. And here he is, Joshua Franco, 15-1-1. He just became the WBA International and NABF belt champion. He got that at the Fantasy Springs Casino against, I believe his opponent's name was Oscar Negrete, if I'm not mistaken. He won a split decision. He's promoted by Golden Boy, 15-1-1. He goes by Professor because of his glasses. So if you want to follow him on Instagram, at Professor Franco, that's a double S. So one Professor Franco from San Antonio. I believe he fights at 118. Carlos Licona has been seen a lot in the gym. He's also been seen on social media running with his sister, Lina Cookie Licona, who just fought in TJ last weekend. So he's staying in shape. He lost his titles back in February. But I'm sure Mikey and Robert are lining up something for him. So if you want to stay updated on him, he's at Mexicanito12. Vergil Ortiz Jr., 13-0, 13 knockouts, just knocked out Mauricio Herrera, or stopped him in the, I believe it was the 3rd round on the Canelo versus Daniel Jacobs card in Las Vegas. So here is a little flyer by the WBC that he's ranked number 18, 100% in KOs, and he's 21 years old. He might have just turned 22, if I'm not mistaken. So if you want to follow him, he's at Vergil Ortiz. If you want to follow his dad, it's at Vergil Ortiz Sr., who is his main trainer, along with Robert Garcia, Pita Garcia, and Hector Beltran. Vergil Ortiz, 13-0, promoted by Golden Boy Promotions from Grand Prairie, Texas, the Dallas area in Texas. Joseph Adorno, the most active fighter from the stable in 2018. I believe he had 6 total fights. He posted on IG just yesterday, I believe, that his next fight is July 13th. So the summer fights are starting to shape out for Team RGBA. Joseph Adorno, 12-0 from Allenstown, PA, promoted by Top Rank. His little brother fights as well. So if you want to follow him, he's at Real Joseph Adorno on Instagram. John El Terrible Bauza, 12-0, 5 knockouts. No update on him. His last fight was March 17th. He is very new to the team. He just signed. He's from Top Rank. And Chef Frank also helped him make weight. I believe he fights at 140. So another Top Rank fighter, 12-0, undefeated, 5 knockouts. If you want to follow him, he's at Real John Bauza. Louie Coria, 11-2-0. Photo credit to Cumbia for this picture. I believe that's at the Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence fight in Arlington. He is scheduled to fight on Legends Collide in Riverside on an event that the Garcia family is putting on to support Izaac Colunga and his efforts for recovery. So Louie Coria, 11-2-0 from Moreno Valley. I believe he fights at 135. If you want to follow him, he's at King Louie 416. Alejandro Porkchop Guerrero, undefeated, 10-0, 9 knockouts. I believe he fights at 135. He's got a baby on the way. I follow him on Instagram. So I believe he's headlining another show. He headlined the night before Mikey Garcia fought Errol Spence there in Irving, Texas at the Southern Junction nightclub, where he won. He stopped his opponent. So he's going to do the same again on July 13th. I believe at the same venue, along with the Alejandro brothers. So Alejandro Porkchop Guerrero from Irving, Texas, the Dallas area, 10-0, 9 knockouts. I believe he fights at 135. If you want to follow him on Instagram, he's at porkchop_214. Misael El Chino Rodriguez, 9-0, 4 knockouts. No updates on him. He was scheduled to fight earlier this year. He hadn't fought He hasn't fought in a while. He was a part of a show in Mexico called Exalton. So he's been away for a while. He came back in extreme shape, but then he's put on some weight since. So he's been seen in the gym a little bit, but we have no update on him. So if you want to follow him, he's at Misaelote on Instagram. Jesse Bam Rodriguez, 9-0, 5 knockouts. He will be headlining his own show in Floresville, Texas, near San Antonio. The date is July 27th. He will be fighting another undefeated fighter named Cesar El Chapita Garcia. Mikey Garcia will be a special guest. His stablemate, Robert Biggie Rodriguez, will be on the card as well. The name of the show is being called Young Guns, Who's All Will Go. Here, this picture, photo credit to at Cumbia, the official photographer for Team RGBA. I put credit on the bottom of the picture, so maybe I should move that to the top because that might get cut off there on YouTube. So if you want to follow Jesse Bam Rodriguez, 9-0, 5 knockouts from San Antonio, at 210 Bam. This is the little brother to Joshua Franco, and Bam helped spar his brother in order to get him ready for his fight a couple weeks ago. So Bam, I believe, fights at 108. His brother fights either at 115 or 118. So that just shows you how strong Jesse Bam Rodriguez is. He's a left-hander and fights at 108. He is the only RGBA fighter that fights for Tekken Promotions. Lindolfo Delgado, 9-0, 9 knockouts. Photo credit to Cumbia. That is also on the Mikey versus Spence in Arlington, Texas. His fight date is June 1st in Linares. Him and Misael Rodriguez are the two fighters promoted by Richard Schaefer's Ringstar Sports. So if you want to follow Lindolfo Delgado, I believe he fights at 140. You can follow him at Lindolfo Delgado on Instagram. Genaro El Conde Gamez should be making weight today. Should be at some point weighing in today for his fight tomorrow at the Fantasy Springs Casino. He's making his debut at 140. He's 8-0 with 5 knockouts. He's promoted by Golden Boy Promotions. He's from San Diego. He is trained by his father and I believe his brother. So May 16th, tomorrow, at the Fantasy Springs Casino, Genaro El Conde Gamez. If you want to follow him on Instagram, he's at Genaro Gamez. Brandon Bulletproof Glanton, 8-0, 7 knockouts. Last win was on the Josesito Lopez versus Keith One Time Thurman card in January at the Barclays. So if you want to follow him, he's at Team Bulletproof. He is born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. I believe he fights at 175. He might be fighting at heavyweight. If you want to follow him on Instagram, he's at Team Bulletproof. Isidro Ochoa, 7-0, 3 knockouts. He was scheduled to fight on Gabe Flores Jr.'s card in Stockton on the May 4th, top rank card, but it's been undisclosed why he had to pull out of the fight, or maybe his opponent pulled out of the fight. We don't know. So he did not fight that day. He was in training in Riverside, making weight, eating, sticking to Frank's diet, but for some reason he was not able to fight on May 4th. So if you want to follow him, he's at IGO_Ochoa. I believe he fights at 122. He's a top rank fighter, and he's from either the Central Valley or from Northern California. Isidro Ochoa. Ruben Rodriguez, 6-0, 2 knockouts. He is scheduled to fight 4 times just in 6 months in this year. So he fought on the Porter Ugas card, and he fought on the Loma card as well. And he's scheduled to fight. In June, and he might fight on Mikey's card in August. So if you want to follow him, he's at RubenNR_. Ray Danger Muratalla, 7-0, 5 knockouts. He fought on the Danny Garcia versus Adrian Granado's card. So 7-0, 5 knockouts. He's from Fontana, California. He got knockout of the night on Prospects Collide in January 18th. To follow him and stay updated on him, he is at Ray_Muratalla1. Aaron Morales, 6-0, 3 knockouts from Oklahoma City. He is fighting at the Soboba Casino in San Jacinto along with Robert Biggie Rodriguez from San Antonio. So it's a TGB Promotions event. If you want to follow him, he's at Aaron underscore Morales. Brian Lua, top rank prospect, 5-0, 2 knockouts. We have no updates on him. If you want to follow him, he's at Brian underscore Lua. Breenan B-Fly Macias said he was going to give us an update on his next fight. We have not seen anything since. 3-0 with 1 draw, 2 knockouts. Hopefully he lands on Legends Collide there in Riverside. But we don't know for sure yet. At B underscore Fly 301 from Goodyear, Arizona. Breenan B-Fly Macias. Robert Biggie Rodriguez 3-0 scheduled to fight at the Soboba Casino along with Aaron Morales. And then he's also scheduled to fight July 27th in Texas along with Jessie Rodriguez there in Floresville. So if you want to follow him, he's at Biggie Jr. underscore. Junior JR. At Biggie JR underscore from San Antonio, Texas. Promoted by, he fights under the banner of Mikey Garcia Promotions. Izaac Colunga, 3-0, 2 knockouts. He successfully arrived in Denver, Colorado to a rehabilitation facility. All the proceeds from the event on June 9th will go to support his recovery effort. If you want to follow updates on Izaac Colunga, a fighter who suffered an injury from a drive-by shooting in Riverside in March, I believe, is recovering, is in the rehabilitation process. If you want to follow updates on him, you can follow his mom at Carrie Colunga, his aunt at Shelly underscore Shell12, or a family friend at Dodger Girl 19. And his Instagram page is at team underscore Colunga. Alexis El Macizo Espino, 2-0, 1 knockout. He won on the May 4th Canelo Jacobs card. He had a very tough opponent. He fought at 165, which is a catch weight. He's gonna get down to 160. So he's from Las Vegas. He is promoted by Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Boxing. So if you want to follow him, he's at underscore Alexis Espino 1 from Las Vegas. Alexis El Macizo Espino. Jeremy Magic Hands Adorno, 1-0. Won his pro debut on March 30th. There's no update on him. But if you want to follow him on Instagram, it's at Magic Hands underscore Jeremy. Evan Sanchez, along with his family and Al Perez, will be running the Central Valley RGBA gym. He's a welterweight. He just fought in Tijuana on March 30th, improving to 4-0. He's a welterweight. If you want to follow him, he's at Real Evan Sanchez on Instagram. So added to the Legends Collide on June 9th is undefeated Mexican, Jose Vivas, 16-0. And then hopefully scheduled to fight is Louie Ray. B-Fly is on the fence still. He hasn't announced anything. Manuel Flores there's rumors of him being on there. There's rumors of Colton's Mike Danny Sanchez being on there as well. And also Goodyear, Arizona's Alfredo Escarcega. So there's a lot of potential prospects and a lot of contenders on there. So if you can make it, that'd be awesome there in Riverside. So the first quarter, the team's record was 23-4-1, and then now they're 6-0 in the next 3 months in the second quarter of 2019. Adding Franco's win in Indio and Alexis and Vergil winning in Las Vegas, the cumulative record of the team is 29-4-1. So I believe they're still on track to get 100 wins in 2019. Photo credit to Team RGBA. Photographer Cumbia at KUMBIAA_, and all the Instagram pages of the fighters, trainers, and managers and family who post updated pictures on their IG to allow us to keep updated on Team RGBA. And I also wanted to give a shout out to Ellie from ES News. Also give a shout out to Rainbow from Teased by Rainbow, Frank Silva, Chef Frank at Frantic One, and also Cumbia from Indio, California. They're the ones that put out most material and most content for us to stay updated on all the fighters, including Robert and Mikey and everybody in between. So if you want to follow me, I am Sonteo Media on YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Sonteo_media, Sonteo_media. Hope you liked the video and talk to you soon.